Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to Thursday Fight Night on the channel. For those of you who need a little bit of a history, a little bit of background on what Thursday Fight Night is, Thursday Fight Night originally debuted on Twitch when one of the last games I streamed on Thursday night was a fighting game for PS4 called The City of Final Fantasy NT. Because it was on Thursdays, that's where the term Thursday Fight Night came from. Of course, the Twitch stream ended in disaster, and I ended up taking to the YouTube channel very well. But I like the idea of Thursday Fight Night, so I wanted to bring it back. You might eventually see boxing games on Thursday Fight Night. You might potentially see wrestling games, depending on if I can find one that I actually like and want to get to the channel. But tonight, to debut Thursday Fight Night on YouTube, we're going to enlist the help of two of our favorite ladies in the Marvel Comics universe as we play Marvel Champions from Fantasy Flight. This one, as we've established, dumps you into control of a hero in the Marvel Comics universe against a villain. So let's first meet tonight's villain. Tonight we're going to be taking on a familiar foe in Crossbones. Schemes for one, attacks for one. And while he has a weapon attachment, his attacks gain piercing. Discard any tough status cards from the target before dealing damage. I consider myself a craftsman. I specialize in destruction and terror. Well, let's hope that doesn't last too long. He starts with 12 per player or 24 health, which I've got set on the dial up here. And then his scheme, his first scheme, is attack on Mount Athena. We've got all the setup there. We'll flip that over once we're ready to start. But let's meet our heroes. First up, we've got Natasha Romanoff, who flips into Black Widow, and the deck lists, as always, are in the description down below. Shield, Spy, recovers for 3. Mission Prep, response. After you play a preparation, draw 1 card. Limit once per phase. This is my mission, and I will succeed. Hand size of 6, 9 hit points, which I've got set on the dial here. She will be our first player tonight. Teaming up with her tonight, we've got Jean Grey, who flips into Phoenix, but like with Black Widow, more on that side when we flip to it. Recovers for 3 as well, and a response. After we make a basic recovery, place 1 power counter on Phoenix Force. We'll go through Phoenix Force in a minute, but we also have set up, we put that into play. Restrained side face up with 4 power counters on it. So let's take a look at Phoenix Force. This will be more relevant when we flip into Phoenix, but I'll explain why when we do. Permanent. You gain the Restrained trait. Forced response. After the last power counter is removed from here, flip this card. And I'm representing the 4 counters with a spin down. Hey Jester, welcome in. Pity your Resident Evil stream didn't go according to plan. Let me just see if I can straighten the camera here just a little bit. Okay. That looks all good there. We're just setting up tonight's Thursday Fight Night. Where did I get that card from, the hero card? You're talking about Phoenix's hero card? So I actually got this one as part of a promo pack when I was playing at when I was playing Marvel Champions at my local game store for a little while. Eventually, I stopped playing Marvel Champions there because it started conflicting with our Saturday group game. I might have an extra one. Let me look. I know I've got some extras of some of the promos in here. There I've got a few different caseling cases of some of these promos. Here we are. Let's see, Mission Tracker, Scarlet Witch deck. Looking. Would you look at that? I do happen to have an extra Phoenix promo. So if you want it, I can probably arrange to get that in the mail for you. Anywho, with that minor ramble aside, let's flip over Crossbones' first scheme. And here we will find, once it decides to focus, there we are. Attack on Mount Athena. 3 per threat or 6. Main scheme. Crossbones is leading an army of Hydra soldiers in a direct assault on the Project Pegasus facility in the Adirondack Mountains. When revealed, we reveal the top card of the experimental weapons deck. And every villain phase will be putting 2 threat on that. That's the 1 per. So we'll reveal our first weapon. Okay. Next time I send you something, I will make sure to throw it in. So first weapon here is an energy shield. Attached to the villain, it gains Retaliate 1. Hero action, spend energy mental resources to discard. You're never going to convince Cap that an energy shield is as good as his old frisbee, Carol Danvers. So that goes with Crossbones. And now we're all set up, so let's get into this game, and we'll start off, of course, with Natasha Romanoff. Alright, so make the following 3 attacks in order. Gross. Because I wanted to be able to use this Dance of Death right away to get a big jump on his health, but instead... Well, I think one thing we can do here is we'll start off by paying... We're going to pay a leadership skill. Actually, yeah, we're going to play a leadership skill to play Attack Acrobatics. It's an attack preparation skill. The preparation is important on a hero attack. When a boost card is turned face up, discard Attack Acrobatics to cancel the boost icons on that card. Deal 1 damage to the villain for each boost icon canceled this way. And then since I played a preparation card per Natasha Romanoff's ability, I get to draw a card. Okay. That's not going to be that useful while Crossbones has a weapon attachment. As much as I don't like it, I think I will have to discard the Ready for Action and the Dance of Death. I'd rather have used the Dance of Death for the attack, but taking Retaliate 1 seems like a very bad plan here. Especially as much as we're going to be attacking. Speaking of attacking, Natasha Romanoff is going to flip into Black Widow, and we'll get our first look at Black Widow. Thwarts attacks and defense for 2. Special ability here is Widowmaker. Response. After you trigger the ability of a preparation card you control, deal 1 damage to an enemy. My name is Madame Natasha, but you can call me Black Widow. And her hand size changes down to 5 cards. And as a response to that, I'm going to play a Moxie. Hero response. After you change forms, your hero gets +1 thwart, attack, and defend until the end of the round. If you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us, even if I'm the last one. Nova. Alright, so Black Widow will use her +1 attack to attack for 3, bringing Crossbones down to 21. And because we got rid of the energy shield, no retaliate to worry about. And then that'll do it for Black Widow's turn. As for Phoenix, what to do? I think we're going to discard the 2 Phoenix Firebirds to play out a White Hot Room. As an alter ego action, we can exhaust... Actually, that's a dumb discard. I think instead of doing that... no, this is probably still fine. I can still play the other card in my hand that I wanted to play. So we will discard the Phoenix Firebirds to play out a White Hot Room. As an alter ego action, I can exhaust White Hot Room to either put a power counter on Phoenix Force or heal 2 damage from Jean Grey. So as mentioned, I do have to be on alter ego side to use that. But we are going to be flipping Jean Grey, once this decides to focus, over to Phoenix. Hand size of 5, just like Black Widow, still 9 HP. Thwarts for 3, attacks for 1, defense for 2. And here's where Phoenix Force comes in. Her special ability on hero side is Psionic Bond. Hero resource. We can remove 1 power counter from Phoenix Force to generate a wild resource, limit once per phase. Which I will do that, and I'll pay out the Mind Control to play out Phoenix's Phoenix Suit. Phoenix gains the Aerial trait. While you have the Restrained trait, you gain Steady. And while you have the Unleashed trait, you gain Retaliate 1. So that'll be very helpful for us. And then that will do it. Actually, Phoenix is going to also punch Crossbones for 1, bringing Crossbones down to 20. Not the start I was hoping to have, and certainly not the start I would have had if I wouldn't have had to deal with Energy Shield right away. But the ladies will go ahead and ready up. Black Widow will keep her hand and draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I feel a lot better about that. Phoenix will keep her card and draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Interesting. Okay, I think we can work with that. So I'll grab a spin down here. Crossbones will gain 2 threat. So we'll use a spin down to track that as well. He'll be attacking against Black Widow. Black Widow is going to say... She's going to say bring it on, because I expect we're going to... Well, let's see what happens here first. So Black Widow's not going to defend, because we've got attack acrobatics that we've got in our pocket. So Crossbones will be dealing 1 plus card. 1 plus 2 is 3, except she's going to discard attack acrobatics to cancel the boost icons on that, to deal Crossbones effectively 3 damage. Because we're dealing 1 from activating the preparation card, plus another 2 on Madam Hydra. So Black Widow will take 1 damage. That'll bring her down to 8. But Crossbones will take 3 damage to bring him down to 17. Phoenix likewise will say bring it on to his attack. Again, 1 plus card, so 1 plus 1 is 2, so Phoenix will take 2 damage, bringing her down to 7. And then we'll deal out encounter cards. Black Widow's encounter card says, hard as nails. When revealed, give the villain a tough status card. If you can't, heal 3 damage from it instead. Okay, so Crossbones will end up getting a tough status card, which says the next time this character would take any amount of damage, discard this status card instead. And then he did... Actually, no, Phoenix doesn't have Retaliate yet because he's still restrained. And Phoenix will draw for her encounter card. Hydra Soldier. Guard. While this minion is engaged with you, you can't attack the villain. When defeated, deal the engaged player an encounter card. Okay, so that means Phoenix needs to take that out right away. So we will move that over to Phoenix. So it says Phoenix can't... Okay, well... What we can do here is we're going to pay a power of aggression, which we can double. I don't need to bring the health dials up to the screen to add or subtract health. It's an old habit because I like to make sure everybody stays in the loop on where health statuses are. Anywho, we're going to spend Power of Aggression, which we're going to double because we are paying for an aggression card. We're going to spend a resource from Phoenix Force. And we're going to spend a... We're going to spend a She-Hulk to... Actually, are we going to spend She-Hulk or are we going to spend... Actually, you know what we're going to do instead? We're not going to do that yet, but I think we are going to end up spending. Question is, how do I want to do this? I do need to take out that Hydra Soldier so Phoenix can attack. And the way I think I'll do that is I am just going to go ahead and blast him. I'm going to go ahead and blast this Hydra Soldier now. So I'm going to spend a Power of Aggression to play a Psychic Assault, which I can double the resources on Power of Aggression because I am paying for an aggression card. I play it only if my ability has the Psionic trait, and Phoenix does. Hero action, attack to deal 3 damage to an enemy and confuse that enemy. So that will bring Hydra Soldier down. That'll bring Hydra Soldier down to having 1 health left, and he's confused. But Phoenix... We're going to go 1 from Phoenix Force and She-Hulk and Thor to play Cyclops. Thwarts for 2, attacks for 2. Thwarts for 2, attacks for 2. Response. After Cyclops enters play, place 2 power counters on Phoenix Force. Forced interrupt. When Cyclops leaves play, remove 2 power counters from Phoenix Force. So that will be... Then he has 3 health left. It takes a consequential damage back either way. I'm using upper deck sleeves. So, which upper deck sleeves are you looking at? Oh, are you looking at the Black Widow sleeves? Those are actually, I think, Gamegenic sleeves. I do like them. The art makes them maybe a little bit hard to shuffle, but that's just something to be used to. All right, so we'll use Cyclops. We'll deal him 1 damage back, but we'll use that to take out the Hydra. We'll use that to take out the Hydra soldier. I'm expecting to throw Cyclops in the way of this next attack coming in from... Well, maybe not. But I will use Phoenix to ping the tough status off of Crossbones. Especially since I've got a card in Black Widow's hand that I do not want to waste on a tough attack on Crossbones. Possibilities. What do I want to do here? So we're over to Black Widow's turn since Phoenix is now hellbound at this... hellbound at this point. She's out of cards. Okay, so I think we're going to go... We're going to pay a Genius and a Leadership skill to play Dance of Death. Make the following 3 attacks in order. 1, then 2, then 3 damage to an enemy. Gee, I wonder where we're aiming that attack. We're aiming that at Crossbones to bring him down to 11. And I must say, as a former dance instructor, I do admire Black Widow's moves on that one. I especially like the one where she jams his heel into Crossbones' eye. Yes, I'm a little demented, what can I say? Anyway, Black Widow will also attack Crossbones for another 2 to bring him down to 9. And then that is all she wrote for the turn. So we'll ready everything up. Okay, so we have to deal Phoenix an encounter card because we defeated the Hydra soldier. Speaking of Phoenix, she will draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We can... Ooh, some of this might be useful. And then Black Widow. I need to get my Moxie bonus, then do Dance of Death. That was the combo I was trying to use. You might have jumped in after I had to deal with the energy shield because I didn't want Crossbones having retaliate for long. So I had to use a Dance of Death in the first turn to deal with that. I think Black Widow's... Now you got me off track a little bit. Black Widow's hand, I think, is good, so she's going to draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Right. This might be a little bit of a waste, but... Right. Crossbones will get 2 at the start of his turn. Phoenix is going to throw Cyclops in the way of this attack. 1+ card, so Cyclops will be taking 2 damage, which is just enough to kill Cyclops. But it'll also take 2 power counters off of Phoenix Force. As for Black Widow's attack, she is not going to defend this. So it's 1+ card, 1+... Ouch! 3 is 4 damage. Black Widow might need to flip and heal this turn. And that's Crossbones' machine gun, so I'm not completely allergic to that going away. And then we deal out encounter cards. Phoenix gets her encounter card first. She will find Full Auto. When revealed on Alter Ego Surge. When revealed on Hero side, discard X cards from the top of the encounter deck, where X is Crossbones' attack, which right now is 1. Take 1 indirect damage for each boost icon discarded this way. So we'll flip over 0, so Phoenix basically flips Crossbones the bird on that card. As for Black Widow, her encounter card, Combat Knife attached to the villain. And of course, attached villains' attacks gain piercing. Spend mental combat to discard this card. And then for Phoenix's second encounter card, we will find Crossbones' armor. Attached to Crossbones. Forced interrupt. When Crossbones would take any amount of damage, place it here instead. If there's 5 or more damage here, discard Crossbones' armor. Bask in the glow, babe. Crossbones. Oh, shut up, Crossbones. Anywho, Black Widow now becomes our first player, and we cannot deal with that much attack. So, and unfortunately, do we just try to ping? Well, Black Widow's going to end the turn on Alter Ego's side either way. So I think what we're going to do here is, do I flip and heal? She doesn't have a lot going on right now in her hand, so I think right now she's going to attack. She's going to actually, does she have the resources to get rid of that combat knife? That's mental combat she does actually, so we're going to pay effective leadership, which we're not going to be able to double. Well, actually, we wouldn't be able to double that anyway. We're not spending it to play an ally, though, so the text doesn't matter there. And the combat resource, we're spending effective leadership with Wild. We're spending that as a mental to get rid of the combat knife. Let's see. Then Black Widow. We're definitely going to get a refill on her hand coming up. I think we're going to attack for 2, which will put 2 damage on Crossbones' armor. And then she's going to flip. I want to work that down as fast as I can, especially with Phoenix having some big bombs in her hand. The question is, do I want to waste one of those bombs to try to get rid of Crossbones' armor? And the answer is most definitely no. So, I think Phoenix will ping Crossbones for another 1 to continue working on the armor. Then we're not able to do anything with Phoenix Force this turn, but Phoenix will flip, and then she's going to exhaust White Hot Room to heal for 2 damage, which will bring her back up to full health. That way we can get the heal off, but we don't have to put a counter on Phoenix Force. So he is going to be scheming. Actually, he's going to scheme the first level out. We'll ready everybody up, since Phoenix doesn't have much else she can do on this side. Black Widow, how much of her hand is she going to refill? She's going to discard a Band Together and draw 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is moderately interesting. Still not great with Black Widow's deck. Phoenix is going to discard 3 cards and draw 4. Since they're both on Alter Ego side. 3, 4. Okay, now we're somewhat getting somewhere. Alright, Crossbones gets 2 threat on the start of his turn, so he'll finish an attack on Mount Athena. And then we'll look at the Infinity Stone. Once it decides to focus, that is. There we are. Inside the Project Pegasus facility, S.H.I.E.L.D. agents fight desperately to prevent Hydra from obtaining the Reality Stone stored within. This advances to the Infinity Stone. When revealed, reveal the top card of the experimental weapons deck. Needs 12 threat to finish, starts with 2. So now we need to keep an eye on that. Now we need to get a new weapon out for Crossbones, and here we'll find the laser rifle, +1, attached to the villain. Forced interrupt. When attached villain attacks, the attack gains ranged. As a hero action, spend mental combat resources to discard this card. Alright, he's scheming against both of us. So he's scheming for 1+ card against Black Widow. So he will be scheming for So 1 threat. Against Phoenix, scheming for 3 threat total, and I'm not sorry to see Phoenix's obligation go away, so that brings him up to 6 right away. We probably need to get that under control. Black Widow's encounter card. Advanced. Villain schemes again. Oh joy. So another 1+. 1 is 2 threat. As for Phoenix, caught off guard. When revealed, discard an upgrade or support card you control. If no cards were discarded this way, this card gains Surge. I think we're going to discard the Phoenix suit. Which is unfortunate, but no help for that. First player will pass over to Phoenix, and our first order of business needs to be getting rid of that laser rifle. So, I think with that in mind, we need, what is that? Energy combat. Okay, I think we can work with that. So first order of business, Jean Grey is going to flip into Phoenix. Oh, the bonus for the armor, so he should have had another 2 threat. Yeah, we definitely need to get that under control, like, now. So, I'm going to have Phoenix thwart for 3, because we need to get rid of that now. Then, we'll pay a power of aggression to... Actually, this isn't even going to work the way I wanted it to. Because I wanted to play Spider-Girl, but there are no minions right now to stun and confuse. We might still need the... Yeah, I think we need the extra thwart here, so we're going to play Spider-Girl. As a response, after you play her from your hand, stun and confuse a minion. Alright, you bunch of losers. Who wants a piece of me? Don't get mouthy. I'm going to use her to thwart for 1 just to bring that down to 6 threat. She will take a consequential damage back. But I need to get that scheme under control. I also need to get rid of that laser rifle. So to do that, that's energy combat. To do that, I'm going to spend the Relentless Assault as an energy and a Phoenix Force as a combat to get rid of the laser rifle. Ranged also means we can't throw the villain in the way of that. Or we can't throw a character in the way of that. That's 5 damage. I hate using a Psychic Blast to get rid of that, but I don't think we have a choice. So yeah, I'm going to spend a telekinetic attack and a no quarter to use a Psychic Blast to deal 4 damage to the villain. If we have the Unleashed trait, which we don't, we fight on different battlefields. Your strength won't help you in mine, Phoenix. That just gets rid of Crossbones' armor, but that thing's going to start eating up our attacks, and it's off the screen. Can I slide it right about 2 inches? I'll try to bring the attachments to Crossbones. Actually, this is a little bit off-center. Let me see if I can adjust things a little bit so we can see what's in the discard pile. Well, let's put that there. Put the main scheme there. His health. Crossbones. And the experimental weapons deck. How does that look? A little better? All right, everything looks a little better in shot there, so I will call that a turn for Phoenix. As for Black Widow, As for Black Widow, what is she doing? Well, I think we're going to spend a strength to play out, where is it? Grappling Hook. It's another preparation, so we'll trigger her, that's once per phase. Hero Interrupt. When you reveal a treachery, discard Grappling Hook. Cancel the effects of that treachery and discard it. Beaux-Moi, Black Widow. That's probably French. And yes, that is going to be... I was planning to heal Black Widow. The other idea I had was using her to thwart. We're not in dire straits yet, but yeah, Black Widow is going to heal for 3. I don't think I want her on this side, though, because we're going to... I don't want her on this side, though, because we don't want to... Because I don't want that to scheme out here. So I think we're going to pay a ready for action to play Black Widow's Gauntlet. It's a tech. Resource, exhaust Black Widow's Gauntlet to generate a wild resource for a preparation card. Not only are they lethal, but they look good too. Black Widow. Alright, so we've got that. Then I will flip into Black Widow because, like I said, I don't want this to scheme out. And I think that will do it for the ladies. So we'll ready up, get ready for the villain phase. Phoenix has got no cards in hand, so she will draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now we are moderately getting somewhere here. Black Widow will discard. Her allies are not coming out. We'll keep 2 cards, both of her cards in hand, and draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Well, okay, this is going to be this will be helpful. One of the cards I drew. Crossbones will get 2 threat at the start of his turn. He'll go to attack Phoenix. Phoenix is going to throw Spider-Girl in the way of this. 1+ card. 1 + 1 is 2. That will be enough to take out Spider-Girl. It would have been enough to take her out anyway. Then he's going to attack Black Widow. Black Widow will... Black Widow will... Black Widow will defend. Actually, she won't defend. It's only 1 + card. 1 + 0 is 1. So Black Widow will take that and go down to 6. And then we'll deal out encounter cards. Need to try Black Widow in leadership because there's Agent Coulson, which works well with Black Widow, and good preparation card. Good to know. I'll look into playing with Black Widow. Actually, Black Widow, I think... Actually, Black Widow is leadership. I'll have to look at Agent Coulson for that. Where was I, though? Oh, I think I just dealt out encounter cards. Phoenix is first player, so first up she will find another Hydra Soldier. Delightful. As for Black Widow... Hard as Nails to give Crossbones another tough status card. Great. Black Widow becomes our first player. Let's... Alright, let's go... The attack on Black Widow, the card had 2... boost icons on it. Oh, right. So Black Widow actually would have taken 3 damage from that. Yikes. She'll probably need to flip and heal. But before we do that, she's going to pay 3 resources to play out Covert Ops as an action thwart. Remove 4 threat from a scheme, confuse the villain. It's all about calculating how willfully blind a person is going to be, and then exploiting that. Natasha Romanoff. So we'll take 4 threat off the main scheme and confuse Crossbones. First time the character would thwart or scheme, discard this card instead. Then Black Widow will discard or flip and heal for 3. Heal the 3 damage back that she takes. And that will be it for Natasha Romanoff. As for Phoenix, she... Well, we're going to get Unleashed here. The only question is how. So I think we're going to ping the Hydra Soldier for 1. I definitely don't want both of our ladies to end on Alter Ego side. So we're going to ping the Hydra Soldier. Then we're going to spend the last resource from Phoenix Force, which will make her unleashed. We'll take a look at that once I get done with the play. And we'll spend a Psychic Assault to play No Quarter. Requirement, Hero Resource. We're spending the resource from Phoenix Force as a combat resource. Hero Action Attack. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. For each point of excess damage dealt to that enemy by this attack, discard the top card of your deck and add each aggression card discarded this way to your hand. Unfortunately, that's only one card that we're going to get. Right, discard piles on this side. So we'll flip over the top card. Oh, it is an aggression card, so we get to add that to our hand. It was a 1/1. So now Phoenix Unleashed, we'll take a look at that. Unleashed. Phoenix Force permanent, we gain the Unleashed trait. Phoenix gets -2 thwart and +2 attack. Forced response. After a power counter is placed here, if there are 4 more power counters here, flip this card. And I do not want to waste this Psychic Blast on I don't want to waste this Psychic Blast on an attack on Crossbones. So I think what we're going to do is just sit tight, unfortunately. So we'll ready everybody up. Natasha Romanoff is good with her hand. She'll draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now we're finally starting to get somewhere. And then Phoenix is going to be discarding a few. She's going to discard 2 cards and draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That's not totally garbage, just mostly garbage. Anyway, Crossbones gets 2 threat at the start of his turn. He would be scheming against Natasha Romanoff, but he's confused instead, so the confused goes away. As for Phoenix, he's attacking Phoenix. She will say bring it on. So 1 plus card, 1 plus 3 is 4. Ouch. So that'll bring Phoenix down to 5. And then we'll deal encounter cards. First up for Natasha Romanoff. Burn Notice. Oh joy. Give to the Natasha Romanoff player. You may flip to Alter Ego form. Choose to either exhaust Natasha Romanoff to remove this card from the game, or discard the preparation card you control with the highest preparation cost, or with the highest cost. If you can't, this card gains Surge. Discard this obligation. Grappling Hook is our protection from the encounter deck, so I'm going to exhaust Natasha Romanoff to make this get bent. As for Phoenix, full auto. Discard another card from the deck, and Phoenix will take 1 indirect damage for each boost card icon discarded this way. That's another 3. Phoenix is going to have to flip and heal as well this turn. That is very unfortunate. Phoenix is our first player, though. Yikes, this is not going well at all. Actually, we might be able to work with this. Yeah, we probably can. I'm going to pay 2 into the phrase to play a Telepathic Trickery, which is a Psionic card. Hero Action Thwart. Remove 4 threat from a scheme. If you have the Unleashed trait, and we do, stun and confuse an enemy. So we'll take another 4 threat off the main scheme to bring it down to 2. And we'll stun and confuse Crossbones. Oop, not tough. Stun and confuse. So Crossbones has got all of the statuses, only one of which we like to see him with. Let's see. I think I've got to flip. I think I've got to flip and have Phoenix heal. So she's going to heal for a total of 5, because I'm going to take a basic recovery and exhaust White Hot Room for that. So I'll put a power counter back on Phoenix Force and heal Phoenix for a total of 5 to bring her up to 7. All right, moving over to Black Widow. Do we have a prep card that we can play? Actually, we've got a Actually, we've finally got a resource that we could, or an ally that we could actually play. The question is, okay, we do have a resource for a preparation card, so I need to keep that in mind, which I'll probably use for that. I'm just thinking here. Actually, we've got two of those in hand, don't we? Our threat's okay right now, but our threat's okay right now. So I don't know if I'm hesitant to discard another covert ops, just because I know that can fly out of control. But we've also got essentially a free phase here, since we managed to both stun and confuse Crossbones. So I think we are going to risk it. We're going to discard a power of leadership, a covert ops, and to get ready. We'll be doubling the power of leadership because we are playing Beast. He's a 4-cost to play. Thwarts or attacks for 2. Takes a consequential damage either way. 3 health. Response. After Beast enters play, search your deck and discard pile for a resource card and add it to your hand and shuffle. Oh, my stars and garters. Right. Okay, so a resource card. Is there a resource card in here that I want? Actually, I could. Actually, yeah, I'm going to take an effective leadership back. I'm going to grab that so I can play out both of my Widow's Bites. I'll exhaust the Widow's Gauntlet to play my first Widow's Bite. It's a preparation card, so I'll draw the card for Natasha in a second. Hero response attack. After a minion enters play, discard Widow's Bite to deal 2 damage to that minion and stun it. Nighty-night, Black Widow. And then we'll spend an effect. Actually, we'll draw the card from that first. All right, play it only if your identity has the Avenger trait, which it does not yet. Okay, so we'll start off by pinging Crossbones with Beast, but that'll remove the Tough status card. Then we're going to pay. Then we're going to pay the effective leadership to play an Inspiring Presence, which will let us heal 1 damage from an ally and ready it. Gird yourselves, for beside you stands the mighty Thor. Well, Thor doesn't necessarily stand between us, but we will ready and heal Beast, and then exhaust him again to deal the consequential damage right back to bring Crossbones down to 7. Just going to check the timer on my laundry real quick. Okay, still all clear there. And then we're going to get ready for the villain phase. Phoenix being our first player, she will keep her hand intact and draw 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait. Actually, no, this is probably fine. Yeah. I was just going to say, I just forgot to flip Natasha Romanoff into Black Widow, but that's probably fine. Famous last words, I know. And then Natasha is good on her hand, so she'll draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We might be getting somewhere here. Alright, Crossbones gets 2 at the start of his turn. He would be scheming against Phoenix, but he's confused, so confused goes away. He will be scheming against Natasha Romanoff for 1+ card. 1 + 2 is 3. This time I did remember to look at the right place. So 3 threat. And then we'll deal encounter cards out. Phoenix's encounter card up first, she will find. Raid the Armory, Insight 1. When it's revealed, place 1 threat on the main scheme. When revealed, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a weapon attachment is discarded and reveal that card. So we'll put another threat there, and we'll start discarding cards from the encounter deck until we find a weapon, which the Hydra Sidearm is a weapon. attached to the villain, +1 attack, forced interrupt. When attached villain attacks, the attack gains ranged. As a hero action, we'd have to spend a mental and a combat resource to discard it, and it gets +1. It gives him +1 attack. That sounds like fun. Okay. And then for Natasha Romanoff's encounter card, Hydra Soldier. When defeated, deal the engaged player an encounter card. We're going to discard the Widow's... Actually, that's a hero response, so never mind. Can't do that. Right. Natasha Romanoff becomes the first player. Let's see. So I think we're going to start off by spending Safe House number 29. Actually, I was going to say spend that to play Safe House 29, but no. I think we're going to spend Get Ready instead to play Safe House number 29. Location Shield. Alter Ego action, exhaust Safe House number 29 and choose a prep card in your discard pile, add it to your hand. We should be safe here. Black Widow. Okay. Do we have a preparation card that we want right now? Just looking at the discard pile. We do actually have one that I might want back, which is the Acrobatics, and I think we will take that back. So we'll exhaust the Safe House number 29, get the aforementioned Acrobatics back, which we will then exhaust Black Widow's Gauntlet to play that again, which will draw her a card. Ooh, another Acrobatics. That's interesting. So we'll pay a band together. Actually, are we going to pay the band together to play? We're playing Winter Soldier next either way, I think. So yeah, we'll spend a leadership skill to play Winter Soldier. Thwarts for 2, attacks for 2, takes a consequential damage back either way. Reduce the cost to play Winter Soldier by 1 for each prep card we control. You shot at Natasha. That was your last act on Earth, pal. Okay. Then we can keep band together for later. Then we'll attack with both Beast and Winter Soldier. Each one will take a consequential damage back, but that will make the Hydra Soldier go toodaloo. And I just remembered we've got to deal with a mental and a combat. Actually, band together generates a wild resource per, so I could probably use those wild resources in 2 different ways. So I will spend the band together, one as a mental, one as a combat, to get rid of the Hydra sidearm. Let's see, then what do we want Natasha to do here? I think we're going to discard the Widow's Bite to play another Acrobatics out. Then we're going to flip her over to Black Widow. Do I want to thwart for 2? I think I do want to thwart for 2 here. So we'll bring that back down to 6 threat, and that will be it for Natasha Romanoff's turn. As for Phoenix, we'll start off by exhausting the White Hot Room to heal her back up to full strength. Then she's going to flip into Phoenix now that we're unrestrained. I think here we're going to go... Do I want to flip him into phase 2? I think the answer to that is... Now that I've got my bomb finally ready to uncoil, I definitely want to wait on that. I definitely don't want to use that to flip him over here, because I want to use that once we get him into phase 2. So I think we're going to... Actually, I think we can flip him over without... Can we flip him over without using the telekinetic attack? And I think the answer is going to be Xaxes, but it's going to be yes. So with that in mind, I'm going to spend an energy. Actually, am I going to spend? No, I'm not going to spend an energy for this. I'm going to spend a mental paralysis and the counter off of Phoenix Force to play Psychic Blast, which will deal 4 damage to the villain. We do have the Unleashed trait, but we don't get the effect from that. That will bring Crossbones down to 3, and then Phoenix will make a... I think I'd rather do this when Phoenix is the first player. Well, either way, I think we're going to be taking it to the face. So I think I will just make the basic attack for 3, which will flip Crossbones over. Now schemes for 2, attacks for 2+ card. Now when we're revealed, we have to search the encounter deck and discard pile for Crossbones as a machine gun and attach it to him. Shuffle the encounter deck. We saw the machine gun earlier. I think it came up as a boost card. Here we are. So we'll take a look at the machine gun. With 2 per hero counters, so 4. As a forced interrupt, when he attacks you, remove 1 ammo counter from this card and discard the top card of the encounter deck, taking indirect damage equal to the number of boost icons on the discarded card. That doesn't take the place of his attack, does it? I'm going to double check that. Opening closet door. Not that folder. This one. Closing closet door. I don't think it takes the place of his regular attack. I've never played that it does, but I might be wrong. Crossbones. Experimental weapons deck. Doesn't say, so I'm assuming that doesn't take the place of his attack. That's the way I've always played it, but I wasn't completely sure. He also resets up to 28 health. Okay, so now that we flipped him over, I was going to make a telekinetic attack now, and I think we will go with that, actually. So we're going to go with 2 energy and a telepathic trickery for a telekinetic attack to deal 7 damage to an enemy. If we have the Unleashed trait, and we do, deal 2 additional damage and the attack gains overkill. Poor fool, you have no idea how hopelessly outmatched you are. So that will deal 9 damage to Crossbones and bring him down to 19. Actually, this might be fine. I got to get the 4 counters for the 4 ammo counters for Crossbones' machine gun. Okay, we'll go ahead and ready everything up. Black Widow is completely hellbent, so she will draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will not exactly do a dance for joy at her hand right now, but I can probably work with this. Phoenix will do even less of a dance for joy at her hand and draw 4. 1, 2... Actually, she'll draw 4. Okay. Crossbones gets 2 at the start of his turn. He would go to attack Black Widow, but he's stunned. So the stun comes off. More importantly, Crossbones' machine gun won't trigger against Black Widow, but it will against Phoenix. She will defend from Crossbones' attack, dealing 2 plus card, so 2 plus 1 is 3 damage. Phoenix will defend 2 of that, and then we'll take an ammo counter off of Crossbones' machine gun. So we'll be dealing, actually, that reminds me, exhaustion tokens. I keep forgetting I've got these. Opening closet door again. Closing closet door. So I keep forgetting I've got these. I bought these for Arkham Horror, the card game, but they're very helpful. I bought them because one of my player mats was too small, and I was having this exact problem. So I'm going to use these tokens from LCG Tokens on Etsy once it decides to focus. There we go. So we'll use those as my exhaustion tokens. That actually works a lot better. Now where were we? Oh yes. So when a boost card is turned face up, discard Acrobatics. So this doesn't count as a boost card, but Phoenix will take another 2 damage. So that's, again, not a boost card. So that will bring her down to 6. And then we'll deal out encounter cards. Black Widow up first will find Hydra Bomber. When revealed, schemes for 1, attacks for 1, 2 health. When revealed, choose to either take 2 damage or place 1 threat on the main scheme. I think Black Widow, I'm probably going to have her flip and heal this turn. So I'm going to take the 2 damage. But I will also discard Widow's Bite to deal 2 damage to the Hydra Bomber and make that go toodaloo. And then for Phoenix's encounter card, she will find another Hydra Soldier. When defeated, deal the engaged player an encounter card. Phoenix will become our first player, and we probably need to take that thing out. So we're going to pay... How do I want to do this, though? Okay, we're going to pay Telekinetic Shield, No Quarter, and Relentless Assault to play Into the Fray. Hero action attack. Deal 6 damage to a minion. For each point of excess damage dealt by this attack, remove 1 threat from the main scheme. So we'll take out the Hydra Soldier with that and take 2 threat off the main scheme. Then Phoenix is going to flip. Actually, is she going to flip? Yes, she is going to flip. Mostly so we can exhaust the White Hot Room. I don't think... Actually, let me see if she's got a prep card in hand. She does not have a preparation card in hand right now. And the Into the Fray is not a preparation card anyway. What was this card? Oh, I think this was the encounter card I was dealing to Phoenix. Let me just take a quick look at it. Okay. I think that was the card. I wasn't sure what that was. So I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle that. We'll deal Phoenix the encounter card for that. And we've already taken the 2 threat off the main scheme. When I killed the minion with the 2 damage. Oh, right. Her responsibility. So we'll deal damage to Crossbones with that, bringing him down to 18. Where was I? Oh, yes. Alright, Phoenix is all out of cards, and I was going to... Oh, right. I was going to exhaust the White Hot Room to heal her for 2. And then that's it for Phoenix. Actually, here's her hand. Alright, then coming over to Black Widow, we're going to go... we need a prep card for that. Actually, the way we're going to do this is we're going to pay... I think we're going to sacrifice another Black Widow's Gauntlet to play Stinger. Thwarts for 1, attacks for 1, 1 damage either way. Stinger doesn't count against your ally limit, 2 health. I'm mostly playing him out. He also doesn't count against my ally limit, so that I can use a band together, which will generate a wild resource for each ally I control to a maximum of 3, which will let me play Hawkeye Clint Barton. Attacks or thwarts for 1, attacks for 1, takes 1 consequential damage back either way. 3 health. Hawkeye enters play with 4 arrow counters on him. Response. After a minion enters play, remove 1 arrow counter from Hawkeye to deal 2 damage to that minion. I'll get a spin down for the 4 arrow counters. And then we'll start exhausting her allies. Question is, what are we doing with them? Are we attacking with them, or are we thwarting with them? We would do either 6 damage or 6 thwart. I think... Actually, we could do 8 damage, get him down to 10. Question is, do I want to try to race here? I think the answer... Especially with Phoenix being unrestrained, with Phoenix being unleashed. I feel a little bit better about trying to race in this situation. So, we're going to lose Beast at the very least. So I think we're going to go... We're not in danger of the main scheme turning over unless we get a bunch of surprise schemes. So I think we are going to have everybody attack. So we'll exhaust, 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 and we're discarding Beast. But we are going to do a total of 6 damage to Crossbones to bring him down to 12. And then Black Widow is going to flip and heal for 3. Mainly because I don't like where her... Oh, that's bad. Actually, she's got allies she can throw in the way of that, so never mind that plan. We're going to have her attack for another 2 to bring her down to 10. Why am I flipping Black Widow when I've got meat shields I can throw in the way of this attack? That seems kind of dumb to me, now that I think about it. Anyway, we'll go ahead and get ready for the villain phase. And we've got attack acrobatics that she can use as well. Okay. Jean Grey is good with her hand, so she'll draw 5. 1, 2, 3. Then we're dealing her an extra encounter card. Give the deck a shuffle. Four, 5. Let's see what we pick up here. Now it's El Hot Garbaggio. Black Widow. We'll keep her hand and draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Don't hate that at all. Crossbones gets 2 at the start of his turn. He will be scheming against Phoenix for 2+ card. 2+. 0 is 2. He'll be attacking against Natasha Romanoff. I should have gotten incidental damage out for everybody else. Stinger's going to jump in the way of this. 2+. Another 2 is 4, which is enough to make Stinger go toodaloo. And then we're dealing another card, discarding another card from the top of the encounter deck. Actually, we would have lost the 2 damage anyway, but I'm going to discard an attack acrobatics to cancel the boost icons on the card and deal 2 damage to Crossbones, which will bring him down to 8. And then we're flipping over a card and dealing 1 indirect damage per boost. And I am not sorry to see this flipped over as a... Well... I'm sorry and I'm not sorry to see this flipped over. I'm not sorry because this thing's dangerous, but I'm sorry because we're about to shuffle the deck. So we're dealing 2 indirect damage. We'll go 1 each on each ally, which will be an acceleration token on the deck. Right. Which will take him down to 7. I keep forgetting about that ability. I'm so used to playing Storm and Phoenix that I keep forgetting that I've got all these preparation cards out. I'm more focused on the panic that I've got coming with Phoenix having 3 encounter cards to deal with. Because that's her 3rd encounter card. We took 1 from defeating the Hydra Bomber earlier, another one because we had to shuffle her deck, and now the 3rd for turn. So Phoenix's 1st encounter card is Concussion Grenade, When revealed, alter ego, we're confused. Place 1 threat on the main scheme, 2 instead if we were already confused. So Jean Grey is confused. I'm going to put this, actually we'll just put that there and put another threat on the main scheme. As for Black Widow's encounter card, Assault. When revealed, alter ego, the villain gains Surge. When revealed, hero, the villain attacks. So he's attacking again. We're going to throw... We'll be losing either ally. And I think... Would I rather protect Hawk? Actually... no, I don't... I could cancel this grappling hook, but that's my... Grappling hook right now is my only protection against Shadows of the Past. And honestly, well... We might be able to survive this. I think we're going to throw... I think we're going to throw Hawkeye in the way of this attack. So this will be 2+ card, 2... Actually, when he attacks, so we'll be using another ammo counter for this. So we'll throw Hawkeye in the way of this. 2+... Another 1 is 3, which will discard... Hawkeye, but we'll discard acrobatics as well, or attack acrobatics. To cancel the boost icon, we'll deal 2 to Crossbones. I'll remember this time. We'll deal 1 because of the canceled boost icon, and 1 because we triggered a preparation card. So that will cost us Hawkeye. Shadows of the Past called the card that shall not be named. Yeah. And we'll flip that down to 1, and we're discarding a card from the top of the deck for boost icons. Or for Crossbones' machine gun, and that's another 2, which will take out Winter Soldier. So he's mowing down our allies. We might actually be able to win this game, assuming Phoenix doesn't get completely hosed on her encounter cards, but let's find out what happens here. First card up for... Actually, second encounter card for Phoenix. There's a Hydra regular. Schemes for 1, attacks for 2, 2 health, insight 1. So that'll turn over the Infinity Stone, because we'll be placing 1 threat on the main scheme. When you consider the kind of person that would join a terrorist organization bent on world domination, it's easy to see why Hydra's troops don't impress. Jessica Drew. So that will turn over the Infinity Stone. And we'll take a look at our last scheme, the Getaway. Hydra has seized the Infinity Stone, and Crossbones orders their withdrawal. Once it decides to focus, that is. Come on. Focus. There we go. Okay, so let's try this again. Hydra has seized the Infinity Stone, and Crossbones orders their withdrawal. You must stop them before they escape. When revealed, reveal the top card of the experimental weapons deck. Schemes out at 10 and starts with 2. If this stage is completed, players lose the game. So we'll get 2 threat on the main scheme. And then we'll reveal the top card of the experimental weapons deck. We will reveal Exosuit, +1 scheme, +1 attack. Attached to the villain. Hero action. Spend 1 of each to discard. I never should have shared my tech with S.H.I.E.L.D. Tony Stark. You think, Tony? Little late to worry about that now, don't you think? And then Phoenix's last encounter card. Another Hydra Bomber. When revealed, choose to take either 2 damage or place 1 threat on the main scheme. I know that if you cut off 1 head, 2 more will take its place. But what if it blows up instead? She-Hulk. Well, we are going to take 2 damage because I think we lived through encounter cards, and now we should be able to win this game. So we'll move over to Black Widow as first player before I jump into the hero phase. I will check that. Oh, crap. Laundry is all set to be turned, so bear with me while I go check on my laundry. I'll be right back. last week. That was dope. Alright, ladies, what say we finish this fight? Oh, the fourth threat was what's his name's arrow counters. Oh, Hawkeye's arrow counters. Right. Okay, so first order of business, we're going to spend the power of leadership with Black Widow, doubling it since we are paying for a leadership card to play Maria Hill. Thwarts for 2, attacks for 1, takes a consequential damage either way. 2 damage. Response. After Maria Hill enters play, each player draws 1 card. Believe it or not, we all want the same thing. We'll draw a card with... That's a little late to the party. And for Phoenix... Okay, that's... not totally garbage, but mostly. But I think we still are able to... Or I think we still are going to be able to win this game. So, we will, I think there's nothing cute here. We just attack with Maria Hill for 1 to bring Crossbones down to 4. Then attack with Black Widow to bring him down to 2. Then, just because we can, we'll spend 3 resources. We'll spend Moxie, Inspired, and Inspiring Presence to play Synth Suit. Black Widow gets +1 defense. Hero response: after you trigger the ability of a preparation card you control, exhaust Synth Suit to ready Black Widow. That's mostly because why not at this point? Because moving over to Phoenix will do a double monkey, some double monkey backflips to flip into Phoenix. And Confused doesn't say thing 1 about attacking, so I'll pay a Soul Sisters to play a 1/1. As a hero action on an attack, deal 2 damage to an enemy. If this attack defeats that enemy, deal 2 damage to an enemy. Lots of tricks up these sleeves, ladies and gentlemen. Moon Girl. Plenty of tricks up Phoenix's sleeves as well, because she will attack the Hydra Bomber for 2 to defeat that. And then because we defeated an enemy, we'll deal 2 damage to Crossbones to kill him in style and bring him down to 0. Whew, that was a close one. Especially after he flipped over the getaway. And yeah, he flipped over the getaway and we were going to be facing an acceleration token going into that. But that will just barely do it for this playthrough of Marvel Champions, and we managed to pull that one out of the fire. Crossbones sure made it interesting on us there toward the end, but Black Widow and Phoenix managed to pull that one off in the end. So still a busy weekend coming up on the channel. There may be a stream tomorrow night, but I haven't completely decided on that yet. As for the scheduled videos on the channel, Saturday Mystical Munchies will continue out of the official Diablo cookbook with the side, Hoodwinked Honey Carrots. Sunday we're continuing the fall campaign in Astro Knights Eternity, and next week, Wednesday, we're starting a new background campaign of Hero Realms. Thank you for watching Thursday Fight Night. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone.